is me trusting my important app assets to a shady website, just to make them smaller. I even shipped a few apps like that, and I am not proud of it, but I finally said enough. So I decided to code a new tool. If you stay till the end, I will show you how much time this tool saves me, and find out if other developers value this tool enough to buy it. When you build an app, it comes with images, videos, and sounds. Every one of those files adds to the app size. For iOS, the average app size is 35 megabytes, but if we add 200 GIFs, each 1 megabyte, that would add 200 megabytes to our app, which is way too big. To solve this, developers store big files online instead of inside the app. But every time someone uses the app, it would have to download those files, and that costs money. Data transfer over the internet is like travel. The more luggage you have, the more you pay. I learned this the hard way with one app I coded. The app was spending €50 a month just to load the home screen. After shrinking the videos, it dropped to less than €10 a month. To make files smaller, you need to use a compression tool. And this is not a problem, just Google shrink PNG and you will get millions of results. But there is a hidden cost. In July 2024, researchers from Cybernews found out that two popular online PDF shrinking websites were leaking about 89,000 sensitive documents on the internet. That was when I realized that I was giving random sites on the internet access to my sensitive files. And this is even more important because some of my work has a non-disclosure agreement, meaning that I could not share it with anyone. So I did what every frustrated developer does. I opened Xcode and decided to build my own tool. And this was my criteria. It had to work offline, it had to be fast to use, supports batch file shrinking, and handle all common files I use in apps. The only way to make this work was to build a native macOS app. But there was one problem. I never coded a macOS app before. I built over 60 apps for Android and iPhone, but even though they use the same Swift language, macOS apps work differently. So I challenged myself to build this one fully native to make it feel perfect for desktop developers. That meant rebuilding all my iOS boilerplate code almost from scratch. But after hours of coding, I finally got the first version running. I dropped in a JPEG and out came a tiny version with just a fraction of the size. And that felt amazing. But the real challenge began when I tried to compress a PNG file. Compressing a JPEG is simple, just a few lines of code, but compressing a PNG file is a totally different story. I discovered that most existent tools rely on libraries that use an LGPL license, which means that if I use them, anyone would be able to request my full source code of my app, and I will be required to share it. A big example of this is FFmpeg, a library used by millions of apps, which even has a public wall of shame for those who break its license. So I needed to find alternatives with a more permissive license. This process took days, testing different libraries, debugging, and building them to run on Apple's silicon. But at the end it worked, and I finally got a tool that met all my requirements. Now I decided to put it to the test. I timed myself compressing 4 files to determine which would be faster, a random online website or my app. Using my app, I managed to optimize my workflow by 80%, which means I have more time coding and I can build more apps. When I look at the app, it reminded me of the old days. We used to buy software on a physical disk and own it forever. So to add more nostalgia, I decided to break my subscription rule and add a lifetime license. Whoever buys it can own it forever, like in the old days. It's been 3 days since the app was released and I have very good news. Yesterday my app hit 2nd place on Product Hunt. This is a first time for me and I'm very grateful for all those of you who upvoted it. Thanks to this I got 2.4k visitors on my site, 5 people bought the lifetime plan and there were 2 trial activations. And for a new app, this is crazy. If you want to try the app, I will put a link down below, and I really appreciate all your feedback. My hope in this video is that it inspires you to build your own apps to solve your own problems and hopefully share them with the world.